Bring in now Enia Krivine, Senior Director of the Israel Program and National Security Network at the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies, live in Israel for us this morning. Enia, we had Yair Pinto on earlier to discuss what it's like there right now. And he said he was IDF in the IDF. He's been fighting on the front lines, but he's also been a correspondent and a journalist over there. He says that there's revigoration for the IDF and this move from Israel. And I ask him, Enia, is this the same? What makes this move by Israel in the last 12 hours different from what we saw October of last year? And he says it's a total different narrative. Can you go a little bit more into detail about that and why this is different and it seems different for the Israeli people?
Hey, Joan Fenton, great to see you again. So I would agree with your earlier guest. I mean, this feels like Israel doing what Israel is best at. This is Israel going on the offense. This is Israel taking the fight outside of its borders. And this is Israel acting when it has the power of surprise in its sails, right? This is Israel taking the initiative on its own terms. And one of the things that I wanted to point out, because it's so important in this commentary, is that Israel has said publicly that the reason they chose this timing for the attack is because they had new intelligence that indicated that Iran was in a rush to a nuclear bomb. Also, just within the past couple of days, the IAEA, the nuclear watchdog, came out and said for the first time in 20 years that Iran is in violation of its obligations under the nuclear treaty. So actually what we see is everything coming to a head within right after the 60 days that the President Trump had outlined. And this new intelligence which just raised the stakes so high for the people of Israel.
Yeah, to your point, and some of the reports said that Iran was, in fact, maybe days away from being able to arm long-range missiles that could potentially even reach the United States. Iran has been very vocal about their position here, death to Israel and death to the U.S. I want you to help our viewers at home understand exactly what we're looking at, because sometimes we see these things and we feel as though, oh, it's happening way over there. Why should I at home care? I want you to address Iran coming out earlier. Dr. Phil, while he was talking to Benjamin Netanyahu in an earlier conversation, Netanyahu was saying that Iran is actively and verbally making it very clear that they realize they have cells already placed within the United States. And they pointed at that moment particularly to the protests we were seeing on college campuses here in the United States. And they essentially said all they have to do is activate if they want to start aggression towards the United States. Help our viewers at home understand the seriousness of what's happening and what that actually means in terms of where things go from here.
Sure. Well, as you know, Fanshin, Iran is no stranger to acting within U.S. borders. There was an attempt on a Saudi ambassador's life a few years ago in Washington, D.C., right in Georgetown. Iran has made attempts on other of our leaders, including the president, the former national security advisor, many others. Many of these people who served in the administration, serve now, have been threatened directly by the Islamic regime of Iran. So we know that Iran has teeth. The other thing that's happened just within the past 24 to 48 hours is the Ayatollah made a statement that said, we can reach all U.S. assets in the region. Like, we have Americans in our crosshairs. So this is about, for Israel, it's an existential question. Iran is threatening to wipe Israel off the map. It's a much bigger country than Israel. It's a much more populous country than Israel. And we know that it's been exporting the type of Islamism and jihadism that Israel's been fighting for the past 18 months. So for Israel, it feels existential, but it is certainly a threat to the U.S. homeland and to all of our troops and our assets in the region. So it's definitely an America First issue, which is why President Trump has said publicly that he was not only given a heads up about the action, but he knew it in advance, and he was very clued in by the Israelis. And President Trump has been careful. He's not a guy that wants to go to war, but he has everything that he said, that Rubio said, and others in the administration has made it clear that they understood Israel's need to take this move based on the new intelligence and the fact that Iran was given 2 months, to come to the table with the U.S. and to get a deal. And the regime in Tehran did not do that. They would not comply with a deal that the president and the administration would live with.
All right. Enia Krivine, live in Israel for us. We are glad that you are safe at this hour. Enia, thank you so much for joining us.
God bless. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Let's bring in